Hello everyone, it is Thursday afternoon. That means it's time for another Facebook Live. We are going to play with the Impressions Abloom bundle today. This is an online exclusive that came out the first part of May. I'm just going to get this shared over to my page in case someone is looking for it there. So give me just a minute. All right. Got that over there. Get back to where I was. If you are new to my Facebook Live, hang on. There we go. I love it when Facebook pops up a message when I'm right over where I'm trying to click. All right. If you are new to my Facebook Live, I come to you almost every Thursday at 3, and we make something fun, and then the next week I give it away. So last week we made this card with the Sweet Blooms bundle. So I will tell you who won that at the end. Now, I will not be here next Thursday, so no Facebook Live next week. I'm going to go up to Kansas to visit my dad for Father's Day and spend some time with him. So I won't be in town on Thursday. I'll be in Kansas or on my way to Kansas. Hopefully I'll be at home at my dad's apartment by then. Anyway, so no Facebook Live this week. So in 2 weeks, somebody will win this card we're going to make today. So just to let you know. All right, this is the Impressions Abloom stamp set, and then the dies that go with it. And these ovals are really fun, so you can tell I've used these. They don't want to stay in their spots anymore. And I'll show you something fun about this oval on one of the other cards after we get done making this one. But this cuts out, and we'll use some of these to cut out our flowers that we're stamping today. So let me set that aside because we will need that later. Okay, so what's fun about this card is it's showcasing all of the new in colors. So Strawberry Slush, Timid Tiger, Darling Duckling, Cloud Cover, and Secret Sea. And I love that they're all there together so you can see them all. And I think they go very well together. But let's do our stamping first. So, oh, and if this is your first time, over on my blog, there will be a post when I'm done with this where I will tell you all the dimensions so that if you want to recreate this card or one like it, you'll have all the measurements that you need. So we are going to stamp 2 flowers. So the bigger one is in Strawberry Slush. And this is what we call 2-step stamping. So you have a more outlined and then a more solid piece. I find it easier to do the outline first because it's darker, and for me it's easier to line up than the inside because we are going to, let me grab a scratch. Usually I have one folded in half so we can stamp off. Because the inside we're going to stamp off first so that it's lighter. And hopefully I can line this up. It's always tricky on camera. Hey, that's pretty good. All right. And then we're done with that. And then the next one is Timid Tiger, and we're going to use this for the smaller flower again. It has an outline and a solid. So I'll do my outline first. And this one has a nice split there that makes it real easy to see where to do the other one. All right. Oh, those both came out well. I'm just setting this out of the way so I don't get ink. My desk is a mess again. I'm also getting ready for a catalog case swap. So I've been busy getting ready for that too. All right, this is Darling Duckling. And this one, it doesn't really matter which we do first. We have a small dot that I'll do on this flower. Whoops, that one I didn't do as well, did I? We'll try and make this come over here. So that's just the inside of it. And then a little bit bigger dot that is for this bigger flower. And again, I'm stamping off the inside one. It just fills it in a little bit more. All right. And then the last thing we need to stamp is our sentiment, and that we are doing in Secret C. And this is on one of the everyday arches. I can't remember if it's the smallest or the second smallest. But I'm going to stamp the thanks first. And I'm going to stamp it towards the right-hand side. And then this is a separate stamp that says for being there. So we'll stamp that underneath. There we go. All right. That is all of our stamping. So now we're ready to start putting everything together. Well, not quite. Not quite. We need to die cut these. So let me bring in my mini cut and emboss machine. Oh man, let me cut those apart. Just a little bit too big. All right. Now these dies will also, if you use both of them together, so like this flower, that's two different dies there, an inside and an outside. And if you cut them together, then you end up with this flower that has the radiating lines on it. But we just want to use the outside since we stamped these. And I am going to grab some Post-it tape so that once I get this lined up, and with this guy, I usually look at this kind of longer one. And then again with the smaller flower, I use that gap. There we go. All right, let's run those through. And now we have two nicely cut flowers. Try to get my tear and tape off, or my Post-it note tape off. And there we go. All right, I'm gonna put my dies away so I don't lose them, or at least in that vicinity. I certainly don't want to lose those. Okay. Bring our paper back in. All right, and one more thing before we're ready to start putting this all together, and I really love this little detail. So this is a card that we made in Kay's team meeting. So I didn't design this, so I'm just copying from what she had us do in the team meeting. But we tore the tops and the bottoms of these, And I just thought that was a nice little touch. I liked it. Again, on my blog after this video, I will give you all the dimensions for all the paper. And it doesn't matter if they're not all the same length once you tear them, because you're just going to put them on your paper just every which way. Okay, let's get that out of the way. And I have a piece of basic beige, and this is embossed with the pressed flower embossing folder. She used a different one, and I don't have that one yet. So let's kind of line these up the way we think we want them. And then just take your liquid adhesive, and I'm using liquid because of the emboss, but it also gives me some time to wiggle them if I don't like them exactly where they are. So just start lining them up on here. And I like the fact that we're putting them kind of crooked, so we don't have to worry about them being perfectly straight. You have to hold them for just a minute for that liquid adhesive to take hold. Timid Tiger. And then our Strawberry Slush. Our last one. Okay. Now we have, somewhere I have buried on my desk, some matching basic beige ribbon. And I did not cut and measure this, so we'll figure out what this is once I get it cut. And she tied it in a bow, so I'm going to leave plenty of ends for me. You don't have to do it in a bow. If you would rather just tie it in a knot, that is fine. Let's see how long this is. I'm just over on my glass mat measuring it. It is 22.5 inches. I better write that down somewhere, because I will not remember by the time we're done. Okay, got it written down. Now we can tie it just around this layer. So we're doing this before we put it on our card. Oh, let me grab something real quick. This is a trick somebody told me, and I think it works very well when you're tying a bow. So I have these are a part of our embossing toolkit. I don't remember what it's called, embossing something. So when you're tying a bow, I always have the hardest time. That needs to be a little bit farther. Keeping it tight while I'm tying the bow. So if you take these are reverse tweezers, it will hold it for you while you tie your bow. Now, if I'm using twine, I'll tie a knot first and then a bow, but when it's ribbon, I don't want that extra bulk. All right, come through there nicely. It's twisting. Goodness gracious. Good thing it's holding it for me. There we go. And then once you get it kind of like that, then you can take it off and tighten it. But that keeps your ribbon tight while you're tying your bow, and then you can fuss with it and adjust it until you get it like you want it. There we go. All right, let's cut a little bit off of here. Obviously, I got more on that end. All right, and then I want to bring that over just a little bit. Okay, now we can put this on our card base, which is also basic beige. And again, I'm going to use my liquid glue because there is embossing on this. And I just find that holds it better if you've got an embossed piece. So we'll center that on there. And then we need our sentiment and some dimensionals. And actually, I might have used mini just because I want to be sure it straddles that ribbon. So I might have used mini dimensionals on this just to give me plenty of space between the dimensionals for that ribbon. Oops. There we go. Take off all your backs. And just slide that there. And then I can't remember if we put the, yeah, so the flowers we put on with dimensionals. Come here. And it's going to overlay there. So I'm going to put dimensionals down here where it's hanging off of the sentiment. And then I'll put a little bit of liquid glue at the top where it's going to hang on to the sentiment. There we go. So that will hold it securely on the sentiment. And then the same thing with this guy. And we're going to use mini dimensionals on him. So if we put him like that, then we want dimensionals kind of in here. And actually probably one is fine. And some glue on the other side. And then he can sit, whoops, we don't need a dimensional back on there, like that. Okay, one last thing. One of my favorite new embellishments, and these are the new in color, what are they called, flat pearls, I think, yeah. So you can see I've almost used up this pack, and this pack is getting used also. I love these. And I would just use different sizes, but I'm all out of Timid Tiger on this one, so that's why I had to open this other one. So let's use a big strawberry slush, and you're just putting it tone on tone. So you're just adding them to their, let's use a medium, Darling Duckling, Cloud Cover, and Secret Sea. There we go. That is it. That is our card. I just love this. Again, I love all of the in colors together on one card. So somebody will win this in 2 weeks. I won't be here next week, so in 2 weeks somebody will win this. And let me show you, I briefly showed you one of these, but let me show you the rest. These are the other cards from Kay's team meeting. This is a different embossing folder. I think it's in the same set as this, and I think I have it coming. I think it goes with this Sips, Cheers and Sips, Sips and Cheers, I think. But you can see, now this, for these, we die cut all of this. And on the leaves and the stems, I used the adhesive sheets So this is a little bit similar. This is the damask embossing folder, and that is with the Gallery Blooms suite. And then there's this one with all the in color dots again. And so this is what I meant to show you. It shows even better in this one. So that one oval die cuts two. It cuts this ring one, and then it cuts this solid one at the same time. And so we just glued that one down and then put the ribbon in between them, just for something fun. Isn't that nice? All right. And then I have a few that I made, because this is the bundle I got when I went to Onstage in Raleigh, North Carolina. That was back in March. And we could pick out one bundle out of a couple of bundles to use. And these were the cards that they had us make there at our craft night that we had. So this is just using the stamps and then cutting them apart, which was fun. This is really fun. I need to try that again. That was fun. And then I made these two later. So this one I cut the oval out of two different colors and then just used the ring around it. I use this as a swap. So that's all of my Impressions Abloom. I thought I would show you the swaps that I received for the May swaps. This is from Kay's teams. We have swaps every month, and I always participate because I always get such fun things. This is Beverly's. This is using the Gallery Blooms suite. This paper, I mean, that's all it is. It's just a piece of paper and the embossing folder, and it's just beautiful. That paper is just, I mean, Stampin' Up! Always has good designer series paper, but this paper is amazing. This is Judy's. This is the Thankful Garden. And I love this corrugated embossing folder. This one is Patience. Look at this. Isn't that fun? And this is, this is the paper that goes with this suite. The Sweet Blooms, and there's another stamp set too, another bundle. This one is Kay's, and I've forgotten the name of this suite. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, look at that that paper. It's got that gold embossing on it. This one is Sherry's. This is like watercolor something. I've seen so many people use it, and I really like it, and I still haven't bought it. But it's, and then this is elements of text behind it, which I love. This one is Jackie's. So this is using, I believe, the paper that goes with the bundle we used today. And that's that same stamp that we used. This one was mine. This is Sunrise Sailing. It's a new online exclusive. And this one is Gail's. This is Notes and Totes. So all these dies come in that. Not the greenery. That was from something else. But it makes this really cute tote bag. There's sunglasses. That was a lot of work. Isn't that cute? I love that. And this one is Paula's. And this is with this same paper. Actually, the exact same paper. So I thought I would share those swaps. It's always fun to see what other people make, and especially to get some for stamp sets or bundles that I don't own. So I have some cards to show off. All right, so last thing, this card we made last week, and the winner of that is Debbie. So I will get that to her. Okay, that is it for today. Let me bring back in our card so you have something pretty to look at. That is it for today. Again, I won't be here next week for Facebook Live, so I'll be back in 2 weeks, and somebody will win this pretty card. And then check out my blog in just a little bit, and I will have the dimensions for this card on there. All right, thank you so much, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.